So if you get inside the minds of people like me and hopefully some of the other people that are watching, we're not thinking about accounting every day. And there tends to be certain points in the calendar that remind us that we do have to worry about it. Either business events that happen, we want to hire somebody, we want to borrow money, something like that, or it's the end of year, and then it's when your corporation tax, or your annual return is due. And if you look at your accountant and you don't know the position that you're in, so I think first of all dealing with a kind of old Excel view of the world. I had a great accountant 10 years ago who helped me start my business, but he didn't know how to use Excel properly and would print everything out. And so I very quickly realized this is probably not going to work for me. I then tried an online account provider with Sage back in the day. And that was okay at first, but then it didn't expand to some of the things that Sue's talked about. So it didn't give me the ability for people to pay, which is an issue because I don't want to have to spend my time chasing people. I know it's a fact of life. It didn't give me I didn't have any reporting about how my business was or how healthy it was, some of the reports that are in Kashflow. And eventually, thanks to Iris and Kashflow, I met Murray, as I mentioned, and we talked about his background, which is very similar to mine. So it's very IT-centric. He's much more of a consultant kind of accountant. Obviously, there is a value and a price, like everything, that you've got to buy into. I just find it much easier to be talking to my accountant about real business issues than about, oh, have you heard about this new thing called Twitter or Instagram, or which is some of the conversations I've had in the past where I'm like, really, I need to talk about the business decisions that I've got. And I think also he's, I don't want to blow smoke too much in Murray's direction, but he's on the call. But the fact that I can just do a hangout like this saves me time. And that's really important to me. So I happen to probably be at the bleeding edge of using every bit of technology I can. But I think a lot of people are like me, and it works for me. So if any of those things are not working for you, you should think about a change, is my advice.
Yes. So there's a number of factors, price being the main one. We do work with it for good reason. Not only does it give our clients the right tools to help run their business, but we actually lean heavily on technology, which frees up a lot of time and therefore cost at our end. So we pass those savings onto our clients. So that part of it. So when people actually talk to us and get quotes, they're actually amazed. The other one is I can talk to them about business. I have run a small business in the past. It was a consultancy business. So I do talk to a lot of consultant type businesses and work with those very closely. So in terms of setting those up on them, I've for them, that they just see that model being set up for them, and they just focus on where they're in their money, which is in the field working with their clients. So at the end of the day, it is sometimes a tough decision to make, and sometimes companies don't often want to work with somebody as technology focused as we are. But times are changing. There's more and more of them coming up, and like I said, if you want to work with a traditional accountant, then there probably is a price in terms of they do. Mm-hmm. It does offer lots and lots of benefits rather than just the technology itself.
I think the key thing you see is whether or not that accountant's going to work in the way that you want to work as a small business. And I think you see, lots of new businesses starting up. They haven't necessarily got any old infrastructure. They're not using anything today, and therefore they're starting afresh. And so we actually see a lot of our clients coming to us first and introducing their accountant to us, because they're the ones that are driving the innovation, and they want to work with an accountant that has that same view around collaboration so that they can work together on their accounts.